Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Xeno, the personification of a cry for help, and today we are back with more Dawn Chorus. Now, I made a poll yesterday as of recording this to let you guys choose which VN you want to see me read the upcoming week. And so far, Dawn Chorus is well in the lead. I was surprised. I thought Chenya might win, or I know there's a few people who want me to finish 922, and that will happen. But democracy wins. So Dawn Chorus looks like it is the winner of that poll. So we're going to be continuing that. We're going to be getting started on Rune's route. If you guys know the last video we left off on, we're going to have to choose which person we want to sleep in the room with. Sorry, I meant sleep in their room. I just woke up. I'm really tired. But anyway, let's continue on. Last we left off on, we still did literally everything but find our goddamn key. Jesus fucking Christ. But you know what? We had to keep our keys missing in order to get to the main meat of the story, who we're gonna spend the night with. Well, more like whose room we're gonna sleep in, considering we can't get into our room. This is so unfortunate. But you know what's not unfortunate? I don't know when I was going with this. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to Rune, because we did spend most of our time with him. After a moment of hesitation, I leave my telescope and look around, searching for Rune. Finally, I spot him on the other side of the terrace. He's standing alone next to his telescope, looking at his phone, probably trying to use the sky map as well. I walk towards him, careful not to bump into any of the groups. He must have sensed me approaching, because he looks up from his phone and turns in my direction. He smiles slightly, greeting me with a raised paw. Hey Arvo, is everything okay? Yeah, well, almost. I didn't really bother familiarizing myself with the app before the lesson, and I thought it would be easier to use. I don't really know where to start. You're unlucky then, because it's also the first time I've used it. But don't fret, this doesn't look too complicated. Look, if I point it at the sky, it shows exactly that portion of it on the screen. Rune lifts the phone up and looks through it at the night sky. The image on the phone follows his moves, displaying the parts of the sky behind it. I guess I must use my location data, current date and hour, and the built-in compass. It's pretty neat. There's a search symbol here. Let's try that. Oh, there's a category for solar system. This looks really simple, actually. Rune slowly turns around, holding his phone in front of himself, before he stops suddenly with his phone pointing somewhere behind me. And here's our Saturn. That was easy. Okay, now your turn. Just open that menu on the right, click on search, choose solar system and then Saturn, and the app will point you to it with an arrow. Huh, that does sound simple. I guess I should have tried figuring it out myself first. But then, would I ask Rune about the room? I take out my phone, unlock it, and launch the sky map again. It takes a while before it loads. My phone isn't exactly a current model, though it's not old either. There isn't even much menu diving. Looking for solar system planets indeed turns out to be very straightforward. I choose Saturn and the app displays an arrow pointing me in its direction. I lift my phone and rotate it until Saturn finally appears on the screen. Looking away from the phone, I can see the same pale dot shining in the night sky. Captivating, isn't it? I had no idea night sky could look like this. I didn't really look at it much lately, but usually in the city you can't even see much other than the moon. Takes me back to my childhood, actually. In autumn, when the days get shorter and shorter, I often would stay out late just to lie on a hill and watch the starry sky. Back in Finland, you were living in a small town, right? Yeah, and there was little light pollution there. What about you? Where were you living before you went to university? I grew up in Oslo. I'm a city boy, unfortunately. Unfortunately? Count yourself lucky. As you get much older, you discover that there's not much to do in a town like this, especially during winters. Lots of youth picked up playing instruments as their hobby, just to have something to do. For example, Miko. He was working in a music store in a nearby town to earn money for his gear, and then played around with it for entire days. maybe you're right. Both growing up in a city and in a small town has its good and bad sides for sure. But I still imagine there must be this sense of freedom when living in a small town surrounded by nature. I bet you spent your childhood playing in forests, running around your friends' houses, doing whatever you felt like. All those evenings spent lazily walking around the lakes, going on trips around after school with my classmates. Yeah, there were some good times. So, now that we know where Saturn is, do you want to take a closer look at it? We can continue later, now we have an occasion to see something extraordinary. Right, so how do I do this? I never used a telescope before, but this can't be too hard. Let's see. This looks like a regular tripod. I'll loosen the lock knobs and point it roughly in the right direction. This smaller scope must be a finder to help point the telescope exactly where we want. He moves the telescope while looking through the finder, then makes fine adjustments with some knobs before finally looking into the telescope. I got it! Oh wow, this is so cool! The image isn't very sharp, but I can see the planet and its rings. Here, take a look. I'm wondering what is the budget for this school trip, because how the fuck is there like really good telescopes here, because holy shit. With this type of quality, that's impressive. I used to watch this one guy back in the day because I love astronomy and everything. And one of the videos was he was looking at Saturn through like his really like high grade telescope, and even then it was still fucking blurry when he was zooming at it up close, that he had to like enhance the quality via Photoshop afterwards to get like a good like quality picture of it. So for a telescope to have this type of quality, that's impressive. That's fucking impressive. I lean in and look at the telescope. In the middle of the image, there's a rust-colored orb with a ring around it. I was expecting to look at a flat image, but it's very real and three-dimensional. The planet casts a shadow on one side of the rings, and there's a thin shadow of the ring on the planet itself too. It's not too big, but I can see it very clearly. Impressive, isn't it? Much more than I imagined. How are you two doing? Do you need any help? No thank you, Professor. We're doing fine. Glad to hear that. If you have any problems, I'm here to help. Actually, we already found Saturn through the telescope, Professor. Oh, that's great! That's all I had planned for this lesson, so you're free to play around with the telescope now if you want. Rune glances at his watch, stretching his neck with the other paw. Okay, so we're pretty much done here. There's still some time before supper, so we can stay here for a while. Actually, there's something I want to ask you. Yeah? I'll gulp loudly. Okay, better to get over with. I don't yet have a room to sleep in tonight. Would you be okay with sharing a room with me? You haven't found anything yet? Rune stares somewhere in the distance, furrow in his brows. He stays like that for a few seconds before looking back at me. You know that I only have one bed in my room. I know, but I really don't mind. I've had my fair share of sleepovers in my life. I enjoyed spending time with you today, so I thought I'd ask you. Or are you trying to get in my bed? Quite literally. Rune chuckles, and I can feel my cheeks getting hot. Rune seems to possess a concerning ability to leave me speechless. No, I'm just joking again, Arvo. You know what? Why not? This is actually pretty exciting. Maybe you had your share of sleepovers, but I really had guests. So, sure. That was more stressful than I thought it would be. But now all the tension I felt dissipates and I exhale with relief. My breath turns into a white cloud between us in the cold air. I didn't think that would actually work. Thank you, Rune. No problem. Want to look for more plans while we still have some time? Okay, it looks like our time here is up. Thank you all for attending the lesson. By the way, I forgot what I gave Professor Arn. I forgot what voice I gave him, so I'm just doing some bullshit right now. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe even gained a new passion. Supper is already waiting for you in the cafeteria. You're free to take it with you and eat anywhere you like. Have a good night, everyone. Rune, I need to stay here a little longer. I'll catch you later in the cafeteria. Sure, I'll be there with Arvo. Looks like we're done here. That was pretty fun, wasn't it? We walked back towards the guest house, joining the small crowd of students heading to the cafeteria. I wasn't really interested in stargazing before, but that was a nice experience. Too bad we don't have such a nice nightlife back home. Gradually, I started to consider the campus I live at to be my home, rather than the house I grew up in. I think that with a telescope, you still should be able to see a lot. That sky map is really a useful thing. Without it, I wouldn't even know what I was looking at. We're among the first ones to enter the cafeteria. On one of the tables, individual paper plates with food are stacked on top of each other. Looks like each of us got a sandwich and a slice of some cake. Small bottles of still water are standing in rows next to the plates. Wanna eat here? Yeah, why not? We each grabbed one plate and a bottle of water and sat at one of the empty tables in the corner of the room, opposite of each other. There's no lamp above that table, which I'm happy with, as my eyes got used to low light when we were stargazing. I still find it weird that you eat breakfast food at night. Wait, what do you eat at night then? Nothing really. I mean, we eat dinner and then maybe a light snack later if we're hungry. Huh, I had no idea. Who wouldn't want to finish the day with some nice sandwiches or a bowl of cereal? Cereal before bed? That's crazy. Okay, excuse me, Arvo. Sometimes, when I'm feeling a bit peckish, maybe I want to partake in some cereal. Although I don't really eat before bed anymore. So, what the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, continue. Yeah, I actually agree. There are some madmen who do that, though. Thankfully, we got something more substantial here today. I brought some meal replacement drinks with me in case the food would be subpar, but it looks like the university found a really great guest house this year. Oh, not you too. What's up with everyone buying these lately? It's just convenience. I don't use them at home, I just keep it packed in the cupboard for trips. Who else uses them though? Miko, but he has them almost every day. Ah, him. Frankly, I would have never guessed. I'd be wary of having them often. It's not really whole food. What about phytonutrients and antioxidants? Anyway, I hope we get to come here next year too. I quite like it here. I looked down at the plate in front of me, taking a closer look at the food. 2 rye bread sandwiches topped with slices of some dark cheese and sprinkled with pepper. Simple, but looks so good. Especially considering I'm already pretty hungry. The slice of apple cake is deliciously browned on the edges and smells faintly of cardamom and cinnamon. Then I noticed the shadow of Rune's antlers between me and him on the table, and looked up at him. He's leaning against the table and looking at me with his green eyes. I still can't believe he actually agreed to let me sleep in his room tonight. I asked just because later I would regret not asking, but I was sure he would decline. Rune, when you think of home, do you see the place you live in, or the house you grew up in? Huh, that's a serious question. Why do you ask? I don't know, I just noticed that I'm starting to think of the campus as my home, and it was a bit of a surprise for me. I never really thought about it, but now that you mention it, I think that my home is where I have my belongings. My laptop, my guitars, my pen and knives, everything I use. So if I arrived here with most of those, I took a part of my home with me. I don't get attached to places that much. I don't feel anything when I visit my old neighborhood. No nostalgia, no regrets, no longing, nothing like that. Maybe it's just too early for that. How long ago did you move away from home? 4 years. That's enough time to make me feel distance from that place. When I visited my parents, I feel more like a guest than a person living there. How about you, though? You only left this year, right? Yeah, but I haven't visited my parents since then. We write messages to each other from time to time, but surprisingly, I don't miss them yet. Rune nods. his paws entwined in front of him on the table, listening to me with a slight smile on his lips. By the way, we're waiting for Devin, yeah? Oh, you can start eating if you want, he won't mind. Whew, I'm finally done. Ah, speak of the devil. What were you doing? I had to move all the telescopes back to the guest house. We couldn't just leave them on the terrace, could we? You should have told me. I would have stayed behind and helped you. You think moving a few telescopes is too much for me? Of course not, but if I'd helped you, you would have finished quicker. It's fine, it didn't take me long anyway. Devin sits down next to Rune, putting his paper plate on the table in front of him. He and Rune start eating, so I grab a sandwich too and take a bite. What is this taste? This definitely isn't cheese. Oh, is it like spicy mustard or something? Oh yeah, I was waiting for your reaction. So you never tried Bronos before? Ah, so that's what it is. I've seen it in stores, but I've never bought any. It's sweet but savory, and salty too. Kinda nutty, but has an aftertaste similar to caramel? I don't think I'm a fan, but maybe that's because I expected the taste of cheese, and that's something very different. Yeah, it's a very Norwegian thing. It takes some time to get used to, for sure. I'd rather have regular cheese, to be honest. But thankfully there's an apple cake too. Nice! I was craving something sweet since Rune ate all the blueberries at dinner. So, how'd you like the lesson? I enjoyed it a lot. It was both informative and fun. Yeah, Professor Arden seemed like a good teacher. He's a cool guy, although once he starts talking, he often gets so carried away it's impossible to end the conversation. I also thought he was cool. It was really nice of him to let you take part too. I used to go stargazing a lot, but never with a telescope. It was really interesting. Much different than just seeing photos of the sky. I finished the sandwiches quickly during the conversation and finally take a bite of the apple cake. The sweet and tart flavor of ripe apples fills my mouth. Oh, this is much better. The crust is perfectly baked and crumples easily, and the hint of cinnamon enhances the flavor. They really know how to cook. Yeah, the apple cake is nice. Oh, Arvo, I almost forgot. You found a room for today? Yes, Rune agreed to let me stay in his room. Devin looked at Rune, surprised. Rune, really? Wait, don't you only have one bed in your room? I do, but it's not a huge deal. Ah, I see. So anyway, I'm done eating, and I'll better get going. It's already pretty late, and we all need to get up early tomorrow. Good night, both of you. Night, Devin. Good night, Devin. Are you done, Arvo? All finished. We should get going too then. The cafeteria is mostly empty by now. We took so much time talking that everyone save for two small groups of students I don't know left already. We throw our paper plates out and leave the cafeteria together, walking alongside each other this time. The lights in the guest house are dimmed, giving the corridors a sort of a quiet, intimate feel. I try to step as lightly as possible not to disturb this calmness. Rune quickly starts a conversation though, and starts telling me about living in Oslo, and I in turn talk about how it was living in a small Finnish town. Okay, here we are. Rune opens the door to the room and lets me in first. The room didn't change in any way since my last visit here, and yet it feels somewhat different now. Probably it's because now I know I will be spending the night here. I'm still just a guest, but this time I look around to familiarize myself with the place where I will be sleeping today. You don't have too much stuff with you, do you? You can put the camera badges anywhere, I don't mind, and hang your coat next to mine. I put the bag down on the desk, next to Rune's books. I thought I would do some more photos today, but I had way too much fun with others for that. The two instant photos I took will have to do as reminders of this day. So much happened today, though, and I'm afraid I will forget most of it with time. Maybe I should start a journal, like Miko. Arvo, are you there? Sorry, you put down the camera and just froze, looking at it. Oh, sorry. I got lost in my thoughts. I kind of forgot about taking photos today. I worry that a few years from now I will barely remember this day. I thought about writing a journal, but if I did, I would regret not starting it earlier. You realize that it's a cycle you can never break out of. If you kept thinking like that, you would never pick up anything new. It's never too late to start stuff, whether it's starting a project or learn something new. If I had the same way of thinking, I would never start learning the guitar, because being 21 was already too old to become great at that. One of my favorite jazz musicians, a pianist from Japan, taught himself how to play piano starting at age 22, and went on to record widely known records with really passionate playing from him. This is something a bit different, but still, if you're considering that, I think you should just do it. Don't try to find excuses not to do stuff, because you're only fooling yourself. You're right. The force of habit is strong, though. That's why you should work on your habits. That's the best investment in yourself you can make. Anyway, sorry. I got a bit carried away here. Rune opens a bedside cabinet drawer and takes out 2 bananas from it, pointing them at me. You want one? That supper was tasty, but a bit too small for me. Thanks, but I'm full. I definitely don't eat as much as you do. For me, that was a big meal. That's probably true. Maybe you want some tea? Not at this hour. I'd have problems sleeping later. I'm pretty sensitive to caffeine. That's wise. I don't drink caffeinated teas in the evening either. However, I happen to have some rooibos with me, and that's completely caffeine-free. Would you like a cup? Let's do it! Let's do it! Why not? I don't think I ever tried it, so it will be interesting. It's a great evening drink. It's really relaxing. While Rune prepares the tea, I sit down on a chair next to the desk and check messages on my phone. I always have my notifications on mute and check the messages when I have the time, not when someone writes to me. Where are you staying tonight? You found a room? Yeah, I'm with Rune. Oh! Yeah, I can understand the shock. Hey, Arvo, you found a room for tonight? Mito's messages always have proper punctuation and capitalization, which is a rare thing to see. When I write with him, I do the same. Otherwise, I'd feel crude. Yeah, I'm staying with Rune. It takes a moment before Mito replies, but in a way he composes his messages, it's no surprise. Okay, I'm glad. Happy to sleep, Arvo. No, that message... Nah, that's a quick message. You could easily do that in a couple of seconds, but no. No, something's up. Something is up. I am sticking to my theory that Mito swiped our keys. I don't know, we might learn about that later if we ever go to his route, but something's up. Something's up with him. I'm not too sure what, but something's up. Meanwhile, the smell of the rooibos tea reaches my nose. It's quite unlike regular tea, heavier and earthy. Okay, done. Here is your cup. Rune puts out both cups full of steaming liquid on the desk and sits down on the bed. It'll take a while before it cools down. You want to take a shower first? Or should I go ahead? I can go first. I'd definitely like to freshen up. I got quite nervous when I was playing the piano and sweat a lot. Sorry about that, Arvo. But in the end, you did very well. By the way, if you'd like to learn some guitar, how about tomorrow afternoon for a quick lesson? We'll see. I don't know how much time we will have after the trip into town. True. Well, we will see. Okay, I'll go after you then. In the meantime, the tea will cool down. Sounds fine. I got a bathroom kit from the receptionist, but do you have a spare towel? I think so. There should be 2 in the bathroom. Both are clean, so use whichever. Okay, good to know. I fetched a bathroom kit from my camera bag, where I kept it all day, and go into the bathroom. I first brushed my teeth, paying special attention to my long canines. I'm glad they had a kit with a toothbrush designed for Felidae. Those bigger and wider universal ones are sometimes painful to use. Then I undressed myself down to the boxers, putting all my clothes on the toilet lid, first making sure that it's clean, and looking at myself in the mirror. This feels completely unreal. I still don't believe it's actually happening. I'm going to get into bed with Rune, and sleep next to him, just the 2 of us, alone. Leaning in, I look into my own eyes. I feel so lightheaded. I press my paw against my chest. My heart is racing. Is it even possible that he is gay too? He was acting sort of flirty today on some occasions, but that must have been just playful joking, right? Arvo. Arvo. This guy literally suggested you go skinny dipping. He wants that too. Let's be for real. Right? My brushes fall to the ground. Just from thinking about the situation, not even Rune specifically, I got a semi. Great, now I'm thinking about him. The fact that he's just one thin wall away is making this both awkward and hot. I shouldn't stay here too long doing nothing though, or Rune will start wondering what the hell am I doing here. I grab the shampoo and conditioner from the bathroom kit and hop into the shower. The water is warm and pleasant. Wasting no time, I open the shampoo and start rubbing it into my fur, starting with my head. For some reason, I start to wonder what's going on in other rooms right now. Is Late chatting with Jordan or doing something alone? Knowing them, Late is probably telling Jordan some story while Jordan only nods from time to time, reading the book. I can imagine the scene vividly. Both of them on their own beds, Jordan leaning against the wall, Late lying on his belly and swinging his legs behind him. I wonder if Mito is working on his music or resting already. What about Bjorn? He seemed kinda lonely today. I hope he's fine. Maybe he stayed with others after the Stargazing and they're having fun together. I continue with that relaxing ritual, humming a melody with some Korean song I found on Stripify, until I'm all clean. Feeling a bit self-conscious before getting into one bed with Rune, I use almost a whole small bottle of shampoo. Then I open the conditioner and apply it generously, brushing it into my wet fur. It's unbranded, but it smells nice. Now I smell nice too. Finally, I rinse my whole body again and turn off the water. Stepping out of the shower, I notice that the mirror is all fogged up. Maybe I went a bit overboard with the water temperature. I dry myself with a fresh towel quickly before searching for my phone in my trouser pocket to check the time. Only I don't have my phone here. I must have left it on the desk. Holding the trousers in my paw, only now I realize something. Ugh, now I have to put on my dirty clothes again. I wish I at least had a fresh pair of boxers. If anything happens between me and Rune today, I hope he won't mind that. Wearing only boxers and my t-shirt for modesty, I open the door and step out of the bathroom. Rune is sitting on a chair and reading a book when I enter the room. I couldn't have been in there for too long because I can still see the steam still rising from the cup of rooibos standing on the desk. Next to it stands a Bluetooth speaker, playing some gentle ambient music. The colder air here tickles my skin, making me shiver slightly. Hey Arvo! Looking pretty well with a hairdo. Shush you, I have a long fur unlike you. It takes some time to dry up completely. Yeah, I don't envy all the brushing. Listen to this. Rune lifts the book and starts reading from it. Like trees in winter. Outside the cabin window I wither. In the world where all is known and nothing will surprise me, I suffocate. The light of the moon flickers, as if trying to communicate something, but I already know what I have to do. I fold my wings and light the match. It's time to get up and move on. I'm not sure why, but I like that. Moon? Flickering? That doesn't really happen, does it? I guess we would have to ask one of our astrophysicist friends. But anyway, my turn now. Rune puts the book down and takes a small sip of rooibos before standing up and walking over to the bathroom, taking the Bluetooth speaker with him. If you want to, you can just get into bed already. Oh, by the way, aren't you tired, Arvo? Not very. I did a lot today and didn't sleep that much. But it was the most exciting day I had in a long time, and I couldn't feel better. Great then. Okay, I'll be back in like 10 minutes. I'm unsure what to do now, so I just sit down at the desk and grab my cup. The liquid inside is dark and clear. The smell reminds me of autumn and fallen leaves. The notes on this specific OST kind of sounds like the chords for Crying During Sets by Ethel Cain. I take a whiff and the smell itself sends shivers down my spine. I take a small taste and sip. It's still quite hot, but good enough to drink. It's good. Not much different than regular black tea, but without any bitterness. The music playing in the bathroom is faintly audible in the room, muffled by the walls and flowing water. Listening in, I think I can hear Rune sitting with the music. The light of the moon flickers, as if trying to communicate something. I lean on the desk and look out of the window, but the moon is still the same as ever. Drinking the tea, I continue looking outside the window until I finish the whole cup. The air in the room is a bit chilly and my paws are starting to get cold. Holding my phone, I get into bed, covering myself up to my neck. My phone has a low battery already. Well, it's no wonder. I'm surprised it lasted until now. I will have to ask Rune about a charger. Hopefully it's a free one, or at least he'll let me use his for a while. I put the phone down on the bedside cabinet. I don't want to drain the battery further. And I'm back. Oh my. I might have seen him shirtless before, but it was in an entirely different context. This time I'm in his room, and he's about to get into bed with me. Oh, were you cold already? What, I left you speechless? Rune, you're not helping! You're a funny guy, Arvo. I hope you don't mind, though. I usually sleep like that, and I didn't bring pajamas with me. If that bothers you, I could put on a t-shirt. No, that's okay. I don't mind that at all. Quite the contrary. I'm glad then. I wouldn't want to get a t-shirt all crumpled up. Rune puts the speaker back on the table and grabs the cup with rooibos, taking a big gulp. Still warm and tasty. I hoped we could do something more today, but it's already pretty late. Sorry, but that won't be the most exciting sleepover in your life, Arvo. Absolutely incorrect. Actually, I hope we won't notice how excited I am right now. Wink, wink! It's hard not to stare when he just stands there before me like that. I managed to sneak a peek or two in the showers, but now I dare to look at him more openly. Even from here, I can tell that he smells clean and pleasant. He must be using a jasmine-scented shampoo, because that's what I can mostly smell. Despite having relatively short fur compared to me, he has a nicely fluffy chest, and similarly quite a lot of fluff on his underbelly. I love to just press my snout against his chest and inhale his scent. Looking even lower, there's a deliciously sizable bulge in his bosses that he does little to conceal. And it doesn't leave much to the imagination. Arvo? Yeah? If you like looking at me so much, maybe you'd like to feel my muscles. I gulp loudly. Oh, he can't be serious. My cheeks feel hotter than a PC left alone to mine Fluffcoin. What? Aw, oh, damn it. Now I have to deal with the fact that cryptocurrency exists in this universe. Ah, yes, Arvo, the master of eloquence. Gosh, Arvo, you're so easy to tease. Although, that would surely make for a more exciting sleepover. Come on now, we should get some rest before tomorrow. Do you want to read a bit or something before going to sleep? Oh, that reminds me, do you have a spare charger? I have something better. A power bank. It might come in handy tomorrow in the town. Rune takes out a power bank from the bedside cabinet drawer, already with a cable plugged in, and passes it to me. Here you are. Thanks. So anyway, I'm beat. I'll be going to sleep now. You can stay up if you want. I have a rather light sleep, unfortunately. I might wake up and start walking around the room or go out. If that happens, I hope I won't wake you up, but I'll try to be quiet. I'm a heavy sleeper, so that's not a problem. I envy you, then. I haven't had a good long sleep in, well, I don't even know how long. Okay, so, good night, Arvo. Rune walks over to the light switch and turns it off, then gets into the bed next to me. To my dismay, he keeps as far from me as possible. He turns around for a while before finally finding a comfortable position. The only sound I hear now is his heavy breathing. I obviously couldn't notice that before, but all his breaths are long and deep. Good night, Rune. It's hard to be sure in an almost completely dark room, but I could swear I saw him smile. I put my head down on the pillow and closed my eyes. But it's absolutely impossible to switch off while I'm lying next to Rune. Oh my god, that's cute. I lift my head to look at him again. My eyes now used to darkness, so I can see him faintly in the light of the stars that blink outside the window. Looking at him like that, sleeping peacefully, I feel a longing rising in me. I want to get closer to him, not only physically. I want to get to know him and understand him. I want him to want to spend time with me. I want to stay up late at night and read books with him, or listen to him play the guitar. I want to see him smile. And I want him to turn over and snuggle me now so I can fall asleep in his arms. Don't we all, buddy? Don't we all? If I only could reach out and touch his sleeping snout. We're on day 2! Wow, all that bullshit happened on day 1. Jesus Christ. The moon is bright today. Oddly bright for an early afternoon. It hangs in the sky like a giant clock on a perfect blue wall. When I was a kid, I imagined that the moon was a giant light bulb, its surface matted with cosmic dust, the light shining from within. Sometimes I still forget it doesn't glow on its own. Just as all life on Earth, it's all the energy of the sun. The weather is perfect today. A pleasant 22 degrees, cloudless sky. The light wind carries the smell of blossoms. Springtime. Time for the Earth to wake up again from its winter slumber. I like winter too, as all the other seasons, but they all have their time, place, and purpose. The transitions between them feel especially meaningful. Winter is a time of introspection, a pause from the hectic pace of the everyday, and an opportunity for transformation. When the spring comes after, it feels like being born anew. Yet the town feels almost eerily calm today, as if nobody wanted to disturb the quiet stillness. Everything feels frozen in time, like a snapshot of reality. The only sound I hear is the rustling of leaves, and it sounds like beautiful music. Moments like this make me understand why 4 feet 33 inches exists. I should learn to play piano. I want to learn to make beautiful sounds and weave them into the ensemble of the sounds around me. Maybe someday I can make someone happy with my playing. But that would be enough to make the effort worthwhile. Maybe that person could even be a certain deer. I'm back home. The air here is much chillier and I'm already missing the feel of the sun on my face, but I'm happy to have returned. Hey, I'm back! I put the bags with groceries down to take off my shoes, then picked them up again and moved to the kitchen. Taking out items one by one, I think of all the dishes I can make with them. I can use half the carrots, celery, and onion to make sofrito, then use the sofrito and lasagna and Hoppin' John. The rest of the carrots might go into a carrot cake or maybe into a soup. Lentils would go into a dal taka. I can make a bigger batch over the weekend, and the rest might end up in a dansak if I feel fancy. Then I put my paw into my pocket to pull out my phone, but instead of it, my paw reaches something soft and boxy. I grab it and take it out. It's a box of matches. An oddly warm box of matches, and it's getting hotter and hotter in my grip. Oh, I'm woken up by the beeps of an electric kettle. I haven't heard my alarm yet. Either I turned it off or I slept through it. Or is it too early for it to ring, and that possibility terrifies me? Groaning, I sit up on the bed and rub my eyes. The first thing I see is an athletic deer, wearing only a pair of boxers, walking across the room to the window. That's not what I expected, but I'm not complaining. Although, it would have been even nicer waking up next to him. That's what I hoped would happen. Oh, you're up. Rune, what time is it? 6:02 at the moment. That explains why it's still so dark. I set my own alarm to 6:40, just enough time to put on my clothes and brush my teeth before breakfast. But I didn't ask Rune when he wakes up. Apparently the answer is early. Too early. How was your sleep? I see you're full of energy. Oh, I feel totally dead. I didn't really sleep much. After I woke up sometime after 5 AM, I just gave up on sleeping. That's why I'm making some matcha now. A cup of that would wake up anyone. Matcha? What's that? I don't think I've heard the word, but I'm so sleepy that I can barely recall my own name. That's powdered green tea leaves. When you drink it, you don't just drink the extract, but whole leaves. And how about you? Feeling well rested? No. I'm still internally debating on whether I want to leave the bed at all. Sorry for waking you up. I try to keep quiet, but the kettle has no silent mode. I'm making a cup for you too, that should help. I'm rather skeptical. Honestly, a cup of coffee sounds more appealing now. There should be some at breakfast though. I feel like I'm going to need quite a lot of it. Okay, I'm getting up. I'm wearing only boxers, but I don't think Rune would mind, judging by his current attire. The little whore. I rub my sleepy eyes and sigh. My paw pads touch the cold floor, and I immediately feel an urge to get back into the warm bed. But, resilient, I stand up, accomplishing the heroic feat of getting out of bed. Barely minutes after 6 on top of that. I can really be proud of myself. I already regret everything. Ah, come on, it's not that early. 6 in the morning is the best time to wake up. The world is always so calm at that hour. And you get to see the sunrise. Would he get mad if I bonded with something? He probably would. We're above the Arctic Circle, and it's October. The sunrise is still like an hour away. Yeah, but it's about building habits. Life gets much easier once you have good habits in place. Then it's almost zero effort to maintain them. Give me a moment now. The water should be cold enough now to brew matcha with. Meanwhile, I walked up to the chair on which I left my clothes last night and put on the t-shirt. Huh? What are you doing with a milk frother? Matcha needs to be whisked to mix with water properly. Yeah, Arvo, you never worked at Starbucks before? To speed up the process and save some money, instead of using a chasen, I'm using a milk frother. Chasen is a dedicated traditional matcha whisk. They're usually ridiculously expensive, and a simple Ukiah milk frother works just as well. I took only one chawan with me, but I'm fine with drinking from a cup. If it's your first time drinking matcha, then you should experience it as intended. That's nice of you. I have no idea what a chawan might be, but it's a nice gesture nevertheless. Okay, all done. Rune comes back, holding a cup in one paw, and a weird bowl-shaped but a lot smaller vessel in the other. I'm slowly getting used to seeing Rune bare-chested and being so casual about it, but I still get a bit sheepish around him. I can only hope he's unaware of how much his presence affects me. Here you go. Well, this looks weird. It's very green, that's for sure. Like fresh grass or... No, better keep it at that. It smells sort of grassy too, although the smell isn't very strong. Don't look so worried, it's just tea. I drink a cup every morning. Wakes me up without making me all jittery like coffee does. Not without some hesitation, I grab the vessel, shao one, and take a sip of this weird liquid. And you drink this every morning? Out of your own volition? The taste is strongly grassy with a slight metallic aftertaste. Thankfully it's not too bitter, not more than regular black tea, but still hard to swallow. Hey, it really works! I'm not drinking it for the taste, although I enjoy it nevertheless. It's not the highest quality matcha, but it does the job. You get used to the taste. And if you don't, it tastes great with just a bit of water and a lot of almond milk. And if that's not enough, add some sugar, always makes it tastier. Matcha is becoming a popular ingredient in confectionery and baking actually. It pairs very well with some sweets. Oh, I have an idea. If they have a tea house in the town, I'm taking you there and getting you a matcha latte. That should change your mind. I've never been in one. It could be fun. Besides, I'm definitely not saying no to spend more time with Rune. Would be nice, though I kinda doubt we could find one here. I'll check on the bus. If there aren't any, we'll think of something else to do. Rune takes a big sip of his matcha and licks his snout clean. Aren't you sitting down? It's getting bright outside, but this looks a bit concerning. Concerning? Sitting with my back to the window, I didn't notice anything. With a chom in my paw, I stood up and walked up to the window, looking outside. As Rune stands beside me, his arm brushes against mine, sending a jolt of electricity down my spine. Better don't spill that. Matcha stains are hard as hell to get rid of. Yeah, tell me about it. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I'll try. The gray, heavy sky is barely illuminated by the sun, still hidden behind the horizon. It's snowing heavily, so much that the fallen flakes obscure the view on the mountains. The ground is completely covered in snow. It must have been snowing the whole night. It does look concerning. I hoped it would stop snowing and I could go for a longer walk today. This looks like enough snow to cover me up to the knees. Rune says nothing in response, still looking outside. We stand like that for a while, just sipping our matchas, watching the snowflakes dance in the Arctic wind. See? Waking up so early is nice. You can take your time with everything, and even find a moment to just stand at the window and look. I'm not saying it isn't, but I am saying I'm dead tired and hate everything. It can't be that bad. Matcha doesn't work as fast as coffee. Give it a few minutes. You know, I might be wrong, but something tells me getting sleep is healthier than pumping yourself full of caffeine the first thing in the morning. Well, I know, but it's a bit too late for that. Do you always wake up this early? Yeah, but I usually sleep better. That's my fault, isn't it? If he's living alone, sharing a bed with someone must have felt weird for him. Hey, don't feel guilty over that. How did you? Well, you have it written all over your face. I keep forgetting he's so perceptive. It amazes me, but it's also a bit scary. I'm not used to having people read me effortlessly like that. I often have problems sleeping, and it's a first day in a new place. Even if I was here alone, I likely wouldn't have gotten much sleep either. Besides, I've been feeling a bit anxious since yesterday evening. I didn't get a lot done, and today we have lectures that I hope to learn a lot from. Wait a moment. What did you want to get done yesterday? Well, you know, anything. I have some papers I need to write. I have a program for a uni project I needed to work on, I have the songs I'm working on, and I started writing this one thing. But you know we're on a camp, yeah? I think we're supposed to relax here. Kinda, but also not. Remember that it is a science camp. And yeah, I want to wind down and relax a bit too, but yesterday I went maybe even a bit too well. I don't know if it's possible to relax too much. By the way, we should start getting ready. Breakfast is in 15 minutes and I'd rather not be late. Good idea. Rune goes away to the wardrobe and takes out fresh clothes, while I walk over to the chair and put on the rest of my attire. Grabbing my camera bag, I suddenly get an idea. A rather stupid one, so I ask quickly before I have the time to think it through. Rune, can I take a photo of you? Rune, currently putting on a t-shirt, stops and looks at me, clearly surprised. I mean, I got an instant photo camera not long before the trip, and it's a lot of fun, but I haven't done any portraits with it yet. Maybe I should have thought it through after all. If you don't like the idea, then I'll just drop it. Actually, I like it, but I have one condition. I get to keep the photo. That defeats the point a bit, but I won't argue, especially since he agreed. Okay, just let me take out the camera. So it's good to be spontaneous sometimes. I open the bag to take the camera out, turn it on and point the lens at Rune. Finding the right frame isn't hard. I only have to get a bit closer so that Rune takes up most of it. The film slides out of the camera. I grab it to put it inside the camera bag, but then I notice something at the bottom of the bag. Huh? Rune walks up to the table, looking inside the bag with me. Oh, well, that's pretty great. At the bottom of the bed, there is the key to my room. I've been playing this, blaming Miko this whole entire fucking time. And you will just let me? I've been putting the blame on Miko. I need to go apologize to Miko. So Miko didn't take the keys. Okay, that's cool. Arvo's just a dumbass. Got it. It is. Yeah. I had the key with me this whole time. Why would I put the key there, though? I must have been really out of it yesterday morning. Wow, what a stupid situation. Rune, I'm sorry. I had no idea I had the key with me. Hey, it's okay. Even if you had your key, I wouldn't have had anything against letting you stay here. Well, unless you lied to me about losing the key. But I know you didn't. You looked way too surprised for that. I don't really know what to say. Even if it was okay, I can't help but feel stupid about it. It's nice of Rune to try to cheer me up, though. I was afraid he would get mad at me. Thanks, Rune. Man, I really need to work on my attentiveness. Sounds like a good idea, yeah. At least now you have your key back. Along with all of my stuff. I should go into my room and change into fresh clothes, but we only have a few more minutes before breakfast. I'll go that quickly right after. How's the photo, by the way? Oh, right. I already forgot about it. Instant photos need a moment to develop, but maybe it's done by now. Of course he did that! Of course he did that! It came out nice. Pretty much as I wanted. It's a shame I can't keep it, though. Nice. The angle is quite flattering. It's a good photo, Arvo. I'm not yet sure what to do with it, but it's nice to have it. I bet it would make for a good profile picture in the dating app. I don't like that idea, though. Rune having a profile on some dating app, flirting with strangers? Why would I care this much, though? The thought makes me very uneasy for some reason. I gave Rune the photo and tried to shake that feeling off. Anyway, it's getting late. I'll go wash my face and we can go. Oh, you're right. I'm all ready. We can go as soon as you're done. Feeling the pressure of time, Rune's eyes on my back, I grabbed my toothbrush and entered the bathroom. Okay, I think that's where we're gonna leave off for today. Wow. That's fun, a lot has happened. So all that took was me having to fucking... Wait, there's a jump to route? Wait, there's a jump to route option? Okay, let me tell you something. A good jump to route is perfectly fine, but I kind of want to give more development to these characters. I want to hang out with them before I have to choose the routes. And I'm saying that as a precaution for all you guys, in case you guys are gonna be like, why are we going back before the Stargazing scene and everything? I like to do this because I like to give the characters more ample time to develop before I click them. Otherwise, I'll just feel like I'm just going to a random person's room that we barely even know. I'm still saving Bjorn for last, though. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should make a poll as to, like, when I catch up with Rune's route to determine, like, which route should I take next. So that'll be nice. But anyway, yeah, Rune's hot. Rune's hot. I'll give him that. But I do love Bjorn, though. Bjorn, oh my god, Bjorn. I can't wait to choose this. I can't wait to get into his route next. Woo! Anyway, thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed this, you can like the video and subscribe if you're really interested. I'll leave a link to the visual novel in the description below if you want to go play for yourself, only if you're 18 and up. I'll also leave links to my Twitter and Blue Sky if you want to go support me on those platforms. And as always, I'll be leaving a link to the visual novel me and my good friend Zed the Red Panda made for the February Game Jam titled When You Are Mine. Please don't show your support to it. And if you do enjoy it, maybe consider rating it and commenting it on itchio. We love reading those. It makes our day. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!